First at noon, Hawaii's Attorney General gave an update today on the state's investigation into the $35,000 bribery case involving an influential state legislator. Attorney General Anne Lopez says it's been a little over 3 weeks since she announced the launch of a probe into possible public corruption, and in that time, her department has issued multiple subpoenas and conducted several interviews. Now, critics have called for a special prosecutor to conduct an independent investigation after Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke announced this week that she may be the lawmaker referred to in the FBI operation. But Lopez denies there is a conflict of interest.
The calls for a special prosecutor ignore the fact that the Special Investigations and Prosecutions Division was created for this exact purpose. And it has been investigating and prosecuting public corruption in the state of Hawaii over the last several years since its creation. This is a criminal investigation. If a crime has been committed, I will prosecute it to the fullest extent of the law.
Timeline of the investigation, but says they are working as quickly as they can. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Governor Luke said she did not take $35,000 in cash during any meeting and never in a paper bag, but she did acknowledge returning close to that amount in legal campaign contributions from people connected to the scandal. And Governor Josh Green canceled an official trip to Washington, D.C. next week, saying in a statement, quote, to ensure steady leadership for our state during this time. Now, if Green had left the state, Luke would have been acting governor. In response, Luke told us she respects his good intentions, welcomes a full review by Hawaii's Attorney General, and will fully cooperate with any investigation. Now, the ongoing donation scandal is raising new questions about a $100 million COVID testing program organized by a key figure in the controversy. As Daryl Huff reports, some say the testing effort was heroic, but others say it was a greedy waste.
So to become proactive, to at least try to have some defense against the virus.
Toby Solidum organized a plan to have the National Kidney Foundation Hawaii be a city contractor for testing, with subcontractors including his own company and H2O Process Systems, owned by his friend Milton Choi, who was later convicted of bribing Senator Kalani English and Representative Ty Cullen for other favors. The city paid nearly $20 million to bring in a customized testing lab inside a shipping container and start running a rapid test service at the airport, with tests costing $120 each.
And of course, island residents who want to come down here, park, get swabbed, and get your result in three hours.
At the time, the City and Kidney Foundation said they were responding to a lack of rapid testing capability. But Dr. Scott Miskowicz, who led many other testing programs, says by the time the portable lab was delivered, there was plenty of testing available at lower costs, and the city program, which would eventually cost taxpayers and customers over $100 million, was a boondoggle.
It was just greed, and the whole concept of easy money was being floated around, and everybody just said, I'll stick out my hand and just put in as much into my hand as you can as you go and grab the big amount.
The mainland company that stood to gain the most, Contact Diagnostics, filed for bankruptcy last year, calling the program chaotic, and said Hawaii officials urged the company to buy way too much testing supplies, which mostly went unused as vaccinations increased and home testing became available. The company said Solidum overbilled $7 million and left the country. He also caused trouble with his donation to Sylvia Luke, which was recorded by Cullen and cited in a federal sentencing document. He has also allegedly bribed Cullen. The Kidney Foundation later produced a slick video that described the testing program as heroic and featured glowing reviews from politicians and even former Adjutant General Kenneth Hara.
And they organized and they resourced themselves and they brought this capability to Hawaii.
Foundation attorneys offered a link to that video when we asked for comment. Meanwhile, Dr. Miskowicz says the effort was a tremendous waste compared to how local companies like his performed.
I lost $1.2 million doing testing in the state of Hawaii. I did not make money in the state of Hawaii doing testing. We just put ourselves out there to help, and we relied on the insurances to pay.
Milton Choi died in prison. We tried again today to reach Toby Soledum through a company he may have set up in the Philippines, but we didn't get a response. Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Daryl. Now, we've been following developing news out of Central Oahu. HPD is investigating an apparent homicide in Wahiawa that happened overnight. Casey Lund has the details.
The call originally came in just after midnight, 12:41, when this was first reported as a motor vehicle accident. I want to walk you through where this vehicle came before we show you some of the video that we gathered early this morning. That vehicle coming down Kamehameha Highway and then just passing Olive Street, eventually jumping the curb here. And you can see where it hit this concrete median in the parking lot of the Walgreens here, again, just off Kamehameha Highway, southbound, and eventually ended up right here. You can see some of the debris still left in the parking lot. What we do know from witnesses that HPD spoke to, again, that vehicle, a black sedan, we'll show you some of the images that we were able to gather overnight. We were first on scene here right after this happened. Eventually stopped in the left lane, the southbound Kamehameha Highway, and then witnesses say somehow took off, veered onto the curb, and then eventually landed here. Again, we're showing you some of those images here that we gathered. What we do know is that HPD says when first responders originally got here, they found a male inside the vehicle. It was transported to the hospital, in critical condition. EMS reported that a 31-year-old male had stab wounds. They treated him at the scene and then again transported him in critical condition. He was pronounced dead later at the hospital. We did hear from Lieutenant Dina Tamis on scene here early this morning. Here's what she had to say about the scene. Take a listen.
District 2 patrol officer responded to a vehicle crash fronting here in the Walgreens parking lot at Olive and Kamehameha. And upon their arrival, first responders located an adult male driver in the vehicle. When they removed him from the vehicle, they observed him to have multiple stab wounds. He was removed from the vehicle, taken to a nearby hospital where he was later pronounced deceased.
Yeah, HPD Criminal Investigation Division, the detectives were here early this morning as well, gathering information from witnesses, collecting any of the surveillance video in the area from local businesses. So there's still a lot to learn here. But again, we can report a 31-year-old male found in that vehicle. No information about anybody else involved in this. Of course, we're going to continue to follow this throughout the day. We'll bring you the latest on air and online as this second-degree murder investigation continues throughout the day. We'll send things back into the studio for now.
Thank you, Case. Authorities have released the first physical description of a male suspect seen on the doorbell camera at Guthrie's home in Tucson, Arizona, the night she went missing. Andres Gutierrez is in Tucson with the latest on the search.
The FBI is out with a new poster Friday listing a $100,000 reward for information leading to either the location of Nancy Guthrie or an arrest in her disappearance. It comes as authorities have asked residents who live within a 2-mile radius of her Tucson home to share any unusual video footage.
You see anything, a person's walking by, maybe just a shoe is all you're capturing. Maybe it is a color of hair. Maybe it's a car. Maybe it's a part of a car. Don't dismiss it. Send it to us.
On Thursday, authorities called the individual seen on Guthrie's doorbell camera a suspect in the case. The FBI described him as 5 feet and 9 inches to 10 inches tall with an average build. They say he was wearing a black Ozark Trail hiker backpack similar to the one in these photos.
The Ozark Trail hiker backpack is specific to Walmart. Investigators are likely combing through store records and store surveillance videos trying to zero in on the person who bought it.
With the search now in day 13, well-wishers have turned to a local flower shop to show their support.
It's kind of surreal, but we're just honored to be able to do it. Yeah, we're really honored and happy that they chose us.
Matt Biggs of Casa Adobe's flower shop says some of the orders for the Guthrie family have even come from outside Tucson.
I think the whole country's, on the edge of their seat right now.
The yellow roses are meant to be a symbol of hope that Nancy Guthrie will return safely to her home. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Tucson, Arizona.
How's it on this Aloha Friday? Our weather's looking really good. No big changes coming anytime soon. However, that does mean more breezy winds, comfortable humidity levels, good air quality, and maybe a few spotty showers in the overnight and early morning hours favoring windward areas. Now, because of the incessant trade winds, the elevated surf continues for east shores, but conditions there will be choppy. And look for a rising swell on north and west shores just below advisory levels.
Thank you, Guy. The question of whether we'll see another partial government shutdown appears to be settled. It will begin at midnight tonight. How long will it take Republicans and Democrats to reach a compromise to fund the Department of Security? Erica Brown has more details from Capitol Hill.
With another partial government shutdown looming, President Trump did not say whether the White House would soon reach a deal with Democrats to fund the Department of Homeland Security and end the standoff.
We'll see what happens. We always have to protect our law enforcement.
Democrats are demanding, quote, dramatic reforms to ICE before they agree to fund DHS, including requiring federal agents to get judicial warrants before entering private property and remove masks during operations.
Unless there are really strong, meaningful reforms to rein in ICE and stop the violence, there will not be Democratic votes to fund ICE and extend the awful status quo that now exists.
But the president continues to defend his immigration crackdown.
They've done a great job. Remember, they've taken out hundreds of thousands of criminals out of our country.
A partial shutdown would begin on Saturday, with Congress already out of town for more than a week, and both parties are trading blame for the impasse.
Democrats can build on the measures that Republicans have already agreed to if they actually engage in serious negotiations with the White House.
Their proposal is not serious, plain and simple. It's very far apart from what we need.
Once the shutdown begins, ICE and Border Patrol will continue to be funded with money from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, while other agencies under DHS, including FEMA and TSA, would work without pay. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Children sold for sex. It used to be hush-hush years ago. Tonight, how advocates are pushing new laws to protect victims.
Also ahead on This Is Now, love is in the air with Valentine's on a Saturday this year. Who's cashing in? Next. Now to a growing movement to stop sex trafficking in Hawaii's tourism industry and help victims find a way out. With the Epstein files drawing widespread attention, our Mahealani Richardson says state lawmakers are considering bills to mandate awareness training.
The tourism industry may typically promote a carefree Hawaii vacation in paradise, but Rosanna Mayetta, CEO and president of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, is in the islands, speaking out against sex trafficking in all hotels and short-term rentals. Its foundation provides free training in a campaign called No Room for Trafficking.
Human trafficking is a horrific crime, and we have an opportunity and a responsibility to help stop it.
Children being sold for sex is happening every single day across our state on every single island.
What has the Epstein files done for awareness of this really terrible issue?
It shined the light on the fact that this happens across the United States, that American children are bought and sold by very rich, powerful people.
Advocates say 2 decades ago, sex trafficking was something the visitor industry refused to talk about. Now, all branded hotels have awareness programs, and leaders are pushing for mandatory training.
AHLA and Ho'ola Napua, which provides prevention training and care for exploited children, is supporting companion bills in the legislature, mandating the state attorney general develop a human trafficking awareness program to educate and train workers in transient accommodations and require industry employers to provide that training with procedures for reporting.
What we don't want to do is have a housekeeper get into harm's way by calling attention. Instead, it teaches them very specifically, here's what to look for, and if you see this, here's who to go talk to.
If you have a pimp or the person who's selling the youth, they will have rented the hotel room or they rented under another person's name, and they'll have multiple people coming and going.
Ho'ola Napua says its partnership in a 2017 Hawaii 5-0 episode on child sex trafficking created groundbreaking awareness of the issue. And together with the visitor industry, they're continuing to shine a spotlight. Reporting from Waikiki, Mahialani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
New at noon, a Hawaiian blessing to celebrate the grand opening of a new affordable housing development for kupuna in Aiea. Aloha Ia Hale Viliko is located on the grounds of the former Aiea sugar mill. The 3-story residential community has 140 apartments, 83 studios, 56 one-bedroom units, and a manager's unit. Now, some of the amenities include landscape walking paths and gardens, a dog park, fitness and activity spaces, resident lounges, plus digital literacy programs, and on-site resident services coordinator. Residents can also get access to free meals and wellness programs through a collaboration with Lanakila Pacific. Well, the day to celebrate love is coming up tomorrow on Saturday, and local shops are seeing a boost in business. As Dylan Ancheta reports, Valentine's Day is a good economic driver.
Flowers and chocolate go hand in hand on Valentine's Day, but what can you expect to spend on your loved one this year? We headed to some local shops to find out.
It kind of ranges, I would say, somewhere from like $40 to maybe like $80 is what someone would look for their significant other.
That's the average budget of Chocolea customers in Manoa who come to pick up some of their locally made truffles and treats.
We make everything here fresh, and so we really rely on locals to come and support us. And usually locals are buying a little bit for themselves, but they will buy for friends and family during holidays.
Over at Beritania Florist, we met Ryan Matsumoto.
It's for my wife, so I'm a little bit more keen to spend.
He's been married for 7 years, but this Valentine's Day is a bit more special.
We had our daughter earlier last year, so this is our first year as a family of 3. So partially, not only for my wife, but for my daughter as well.
If a stop at your local florist is on your to-do list, you can find a wide range of prices.
A nice premium rose that's wrapped up all nice for like $15. And we have things that are several $100s for our customers that are, I would say, extravagant.
According to the National Retail Federation, on average, people are budgeting about $200 this Valentine's Day, resulting in an anticipated $29 billion in economic activity nationwide.
R&D.
Local shops are keeping up with the demand, but also grappling with higher prices as retailers.
It's really, really challenging. We're seeing the cost continually increase in every single line item on our budget. You know, there's not much that we can do. This is the price of paradise of being here, and so we try to keep our costs down as much as possible.
Owners say they're grateful for the support and ready to help even the last-minute shoppers this February 14th.
You're supporting our mission of bringing peace to our world, one chocolate at a time.
Dylan and Chata, Hawaii News Now.
All right, let's take a live look outside with our tower cam out at Honolulu Harbor. We made it to Aloha Friday, everyone. Guy Hagi's going to have your full forecast coming up in 2 minutes.
First Alert Weather with Guy Hug.
How's it on this Aloha Friday? Get ready for more breezy trade wind conditions. Really nice stuff, actually. There is a disturbance off to the north that's going to be pulling away, so we're not expecting significant rainfall anytime soon. Not that it's going to be totally dry, because we will see, with the trade winds, clouds coming in with a few embedded showers, mainly affecting windward areas, mainly falling in the overnight and early morning hours. So middle part of the day, we won't see much rain at all. We are expecting lots of sunshine for the next several days, and these winds will pick up speed. Look, already windy over in Kauai. That's just a sign of things to come. From Maui to Kauai, the winds will be running pretty brisk and breezy. Parts of Hawaii Island too. So this is what we're looking at today and for the next several days, right? Really nice stuff. A few showers to start every morning for those windward and Mauka areas mainly. Not a lot of rain. Drier, sunnier as the day progresses with those breezy winds. In fact, even stronger winds are due starting on Sunday, so heads up there. Now, because of those incessant trade winds, we still have elevated wind swell over on the east shore, likely to get bigger over the weekend when the winds get stronger. And up in the north and west shores, we've got a new swell that's picking up. It's going to be rising throughout the day, getting bigger by tomorrow. And it will be below advisory levels, but still should be pretty good size and to a large extent dangerous for those unfamiliar in large surf. So heads up on that. So again, breezy trading weather, really nice stuff for the next several days. Valentine's Day expected to be very, very sunny. High temperature running to about 81 degrees, just about 10% chance of rain. Again, not much rain expected over the next several days. However, as we head into the early part of next week, those winds will pick up speed. They'll be quite windy from Sunday through Tuesday, and they will ease up significantly on Wednesday.
2026 Winter Games. Here's a live look at the Olympic flame in Milan. Stay with KHNL for all your Olympics coverage. Now let's take a look at the latest medal count. Host country Italy leads the pack with 17 total medals, followed by Norway, and the U.S. has 4 golds currently. Well, a rage room offers spurned lovers a violent Valentine venting. Jeremy Roth explains.
A famously spurned wedding singer once lamented his relationship woes by proclaiming, and while a wedding reception was probably neither the time nor the place to make such a salty stand, this so-called rage room in Georgia is the perfect venue to vent your Valentine's Day venom. According to WANF, for 3 years, Total Rage ATL in Powder Springs has provided a safe space for frustrated folks to break free and, more importantly, break stuff. Owner Dion Holmes says he sees all types of customers, whether it's men and women getting over bad breakups, or couples just looking to vent unspoken stress or share a unique, albeit destructive, date. But no matter the clientele looking to turn the page with a little rage, Holmes says business is always a boomin' come Valentine's Day. In Alaska, organizers at a musk ox farm put their heads together and came up with a very unique V-Day idea. They created online dating profiles for several members of their herd, and the results are equal parts amazing and a-grazing. See, it is funny because they are grazing. Okay. KTUU reports amongst the eligible foxy oxen at the musk ox farm in Palmer are Bumblebee, described as an independent lady, and Pixie Sticks, who enjoys a good novel and a warm blanket. The profiles are all in good fun and part of plenty of Valentine's season activities planned at the farm, including an ox kissing booth, which the farm says they are legally obligated to tell you is for looks only. Probably for the best. Something tells me a kiss from a musk ox would be more, musk than ox. Or take a look at this.